Have you ever stopped to think about how your body actually powers everything you do? I mean, from running a race to just thinking through a tough problem, it all needs energy. Well, today, we're going to go on this incredible journey deep inside the human body to see exactly how we turn food and air into fuel. So let's get started. So it really all comes down to this simple question, right? How does an apple or, a sandwich or anything you eat become the actual energy you use to run around, to focus, to play? It sounds kind of like magic, but I promise you, it's a brilliant process that's happening inside you right this very second. The secret? It's all about teamwork. And we've got two star players in our story. The digestive system, that's the one that handles the food, and the respiratory system, which takes care of the air we breathe. They have to work together perfectly. So let's follow the food first, starting with that very first bite. All right, first up, journey number 1. We're going to track how food goes from being, just food, to becoming the fuel that powers your entire body. Okay, I'm going to start with a number that might just surprise you. 9 meters. What on earth could be 9 meters long inside your body? Yep, that's the incredible length of your digestive tract, all coiled up inside you. It's this long, winding road, and believe me, every single inch has a special job to do in turning your meals into energy. So, our journey starts exactly where you'd expect, in the mouth. The moment you take a bite of food, the whole process kicks off. And right away, 2 things happen at once. First, you've got mechanical digestion. That's just your teeth physically grinding the food into smaller bits. At the exact same time, you've got chemical digestion. Your saliva uses these special little helpers called enzymes to start breaking down carbohydrates right then and there. From the mouth, the food travels down the esophagus to our next big stop, the stomach. You can think of it as a really powerful, muscular mixing tank. So inside the stomach, that food gets churned up and mixed with some pretty strong gastric juices. This process turns everything into a kind of soupy paste. And this stuff has a name, chyme. This is also where protein digestion really gets going. After leaving the stomach, that chyme moves into what is easily the longest and maybe the most important part of its whole journey, the small intestine. And get this, remember we said the whole digestive tract is about 9 meters long? Well, the small intestine alone makes up about 6 of those meters. It's pretty incredible that something so long can fit inside us, and it's all thanks to some very, very clever folding. This is where the main event really happens. The small intestine is where digestion of everything finishes up. And most importantly, this is where all those useful nutrients get absorbed into your bloodstream. To do this, it's lined with millions of tiny, fuzzy, finger-like things called microvilli. They create a huge surface area, kind of like a fluffy towel, to soak up every last bit of goodness from your food. Okay, so we've got our nutrients, we've got our fuel. But fuel is pretty useless without a spark, right? For our bodies, that spark is oxygen. And this brings us to our second journey, the path of air. It's really as simple as this. To unlock all that energy that's stored in the nutrients floating in your blood, your cells need one essential ingredient, oxygen. And getting that oxygen is the entire job of your respiratory system. So, air comes in through your nose and mouth and travels down a series of tubes that we call the airways. And along the way, it gets the full VIP treatment. It's filtered to get rid of dust, it's warmed up to your body temperature, and it's humidified so it doesn't dry out your lungs. Ready for another one of those incredible numbers? Okay, here it is. 300 million. Any idea what we might have 300 million of? That is roughly how many tiny, balloon-like air sacs you have deep inside your lungs. They're called alveoli. They're the final destination for the air you breathe. And this is where the real magic happens. And how does the air even get there? By breathing, of course. It's a simple 2-step process, and it's all powered by a big muscle under your lungs called the diaphragm. When it contracts and moves down, it pulls air in. That's inhalation. When it relaxes and moves up, it pushes air out. Exhalation. Simple as that. So what's actually happening in those 300 million little sacs? It's something called gas exchange. Think of it like a trade. In the alveoli, the oxygen you just inhaled passes into your blood. At the exact same moment, a waste gas your body needs to get rid of, carbon dioxide, passes out of your blood and into the air, all ready for you to exhale. It's a perfect swap. And this, right here, brings us to the grand finale. Our 2 journeys are finally about to meet. The nutrients from our food and the oxygen from the air are both in the bloodstream, ready to power your every move.
So here it is, the simple formula for energy. You've got nutrients from food in the bloodstream, you've got oxygen from the air in the bloodstream, then your circulatory system, your heart, pumps that blood all over your body, delivering both of them to every single one of your cells, and finally, your cells combine the nutrients and oxygen to create energy.
So now that we know how these incredible systems work together, how do we take care of them? How do we make sure our body's engines are always running as smoothly as possible? Well, here are some key healthy habits for your body's amazing team. For digestion, things like eating a balanced diet that's rich in fiber, drinking enough water, and just chewing your food properly. And for respiration, it's a big one, but do not smoke or vape, get regular exercise, and make sure you're in spaces with fresh air. These simple things make a huge, huge difference. These two systems, they work for you non-stop, 24/7, without you ever having to think about it. So let's end with a question to just think about for a minute. What's one healthy choice you can make for them today, just to say thanks for all their hard work?